1 week to go before an epic game week of fixtures, we first continued the joyous occasion of a second double game week in a row. Welcome to Game Week 25. Facing off against Tomas, I was certainly surprised he didn't go with any extra players. Still, with a stacked midfield and a solid defence, there was certainly a chance that his side could rack up serious points. I, however, was heavily relying on a Leeds result against Southampton. And here's how it played out. It was a great week as hoped, with 2 of the 3 transfers, Aina and Stroke, with 8 points each. Rafinha is becoming one of the best signings I've made all season, and it was great to see Mahrez, Traore and Vardy get on the board to give us a strong 62-point win. Tomas, I would say, was unfortunate that once again Gundogan could only manage 3 points against myself. Rashford's 12 certainly making up for a few of his star players, along with Antonio and his Man City defence. The Wolves vs Leeds duo was anticlimactic, but it really was Mane and Gundogan who let him down this week. It finished Andy 62, Tomas 49. Time for the league leader Ahmed as he took on Ross, who was looking to make his mark on the title race. But unfortunately for Ross, it was Ahmed who had the firepower of 5 extra players, one of those being a 17-point Stuart Dallas, which helped him cruise to victory. Also, with Harvey Barnes and Bruno Fernandes adding to his total, because that's just a given at this rate, surprised to see Ahmed still have Bednarek, especially with Calvert-Lewin on his bench. Ross, on the other hand, did hit past the 40-point threshold for a normal week, only managed 2 points from his extra players. Ross has been active in the transfers recently and they have been pretty good. Minamino, Diagne and Lukman, just a few to mention. Perhaps it's not too late for him after all. Final score, Ahmed 76, Ross 43. Moving on to Ahmed's newest challenger for the title, Quaylon. Last year's runner-up has launched himself into the title picture with recent wins and had to continue this form before their clash next week. For the 3rd time in 5 weeks, he gets another win by just 3 points. It was Bamford's goal in the 47th minute on the final day which secured the win. It was Jesse Lingard who showed up in the 47th minute also to beat Spurs, and he'll be blessed with these 2 goals as new signing Kabak let him down and Ederson was left on his bench. Unlike Ahmed, who has Fernandes scoring every week, Quaylon seems to have no problem scoring points on his bench.
What are you doing, man?
Nicholas, however, with 35 points would surprisingly be enough to win without the extra game. Sadly, his big names were just not on display. Souček has gone quiet since Lingard's arrival and De Bruyne has only just returned from injury. Next week will be a chance to revive his form. Quaylon 38, Nicholas 35. And if you thought that should have been the game of the week, wait till you see this one. Niall with his Man City army came up against Alex, who has been free falling for the past number of weeks. A game I would be hoping for Alex to win. It was the last kick of the Brighton and Crystal Palace game which saw Ayew get an assist with just enough points to overtake Alex. Raheem Sterling was the only Man City player to show up this week, and that was only in the first 60 seconds. Maddison and Pope teaming up once again to help him out, and 3 substitutes and Jack Grealish missing. Ayew was truly the unlikely hero this week. Mason Mount, Tarkowski and even McGinn was on board for Alex. Salah and Martial continued to let his side down severely. Niall 38, Alex 37. So now we start to see Ahmed and Quaylon take control of this title race as they create some space between the rest of the pack. In a week where anyone in the middle could have gotten a much needed win, sadly none of them could take advantage of this. I can't complain too much. While yes, I am trying to catch Niall before I start looking beyond him, keeping up the pace is key, and to see others slip up means that perhaps, and it might sound crazy, Niall might not be the one who needs to worry about finishing in 8th place. We are entering Game Week 26, which I would consider an incredibly important week for the league. It's the second last time these sides will meet each other. It's a chance for Quaylon to close the gap to just point difference, or Ahmed could pull 6 points clear at the top, and Niall would certainly look to completely deflate my hopes of catching him with revenge after what John Stones done last time. So for the 3rd week in a row, you know what it's time for.
Alright, double prizes!
So firstly, I want to talk about Niall's side. He has consistently had substitutes every week to cover for him when players are missing. Ayew was his last substitute in the previous week, which just shows how important they can be. Manchester City and Chelsea's recent form is starting to show on his team and can really pull out some serious numbers. The only luck that I could possibly ask for this week is that his substitutes may need to replace Jack Grealish and Maddison, two more names that can certainly hurt the opposition. No transfers this week for Niall, but every single player for him has 2 games. This will be another tight affair. Meanwhile for myself, only 3 transfers, starting with Konsa as we start to rebuild that Villa defence, along with Sanchez for Spurs, and Rodri as I tried to match his 4 Man City players. The biggest surprise is that I am starting Sergio Aguero, who has 140 minutes of football and only 5 points, and it's currently game week 26. If there was ever a time, it has to be now. Just like Arsenal last time, I am trusting Rafinha and his single game, who may hurt my Villa defence, but I'm holding out for their Sheffield United game after. Stones will do well to get 27 points again, but Michael Keane could really stand out this time. It's an important week, let's hope we can make it count. So here we go, the most intense week is about to take place. Let's see who comes out on top as the winners and who will be the losers. Best of luck with all your squads, stay safe, and I'll talk to you next week. See you later.